Fine. I claim the tradition as you have. The lore of surprise. Give me that which you already have, but do not know.
No! What have you done, Witcher?
In the year 1231, after killing a Kikimora, the Witcher Geralt goes to the town of Blaviken, where he meets Renfri. When he wants to sell his Kikimora trophy, Geralt is directed to the wizard Stregobor. However, Stregobor wants him to kill Renfri, who he believes is part of a prophecy that will end the human race. But Geralt refuses him. He is then approached by Renfri, who tells him that Stregobor has been trying to kill her for a long time, and now she's hunting him. When Geralt refuses to give up the wizard, Renfri plans to attack the people of Blaviken, but is killed by Geralt in a fight. However, before she dies, she tells him that Ciri is his destiny. In 1263, 32 years later, Cintra, led by Queen Calanthe, is invaded by the Empire of Nilfgaard. The Cintrans meet them on the battlefield, but are forced to retreat when their Skellige support ships are delayed by a storm, and their king Aist is killed by Cahir, a Nilfgaardian officer. They retreat to the queen's castle, where they are besieged by the Nilfgaardians. Mausak, the queen's druid, puts up a magical barrier to hold off the invaders, but is soon overwhelmed by their numbers. When the castle is about to fall, Queen Calanthe orders Mausak to take Ciri to Geralt of Rivia and reveals to him that the Nilfgaardians are after Ciri. Calanthe then commits suicide, while Ciri is captured by Cahir. However, tapping into her magical powers via her emotions, she is able to escape him. In 1240, 9 years after the Blaviken incident, Geralt is drinking in a bar when he meets Jaskier the Bard. When it becomes known that Geralt is a witcher, a man offers him money to hunt down a devil who is stealing his grain. Geralt accepts and sets out to hunt the devil, but is followed and eventually joined by Jaskier. Together they track down the devil, who turns out to be a sylvan named Torque, but are captured by some elves. One of which is Filavandrel, the king of the elves. He reveals to Geralt that the elves were pushed out of their homes and are starving, which is why he had asked Torque to steal the food. Realizing that Geralt is also not a human, Filavandrel lets him and Jaskier go. In 1206, a hunchback girl named Yennefer is sold by her parents to a sorceress named Tisea de Vries for only 4 marks. She is brought to Aretuza, a school for magic, but struggles to control her inner chaos and magic. Frustrated, she again meets with Istred, a boy she met when she accidentally created a portal. They share a lot of time together, with Yennefer revealing to him that she has elven blood, the reason for her hunchback. Unbeknownst to her, Istred tells this to Stregobor, who uses Istred to spy on Yennefer, Tisea, and Aretuza. In 1263, Ciri is still on the run and in hiding from the Nilfgaardians when she meets a young elven boy named Dara. In 1243, 3 years after meeting Filavandrel, Geralt visits the kingdom of Temeria in pursuit of a missing witcher named Remus, who actually was slain by a savage beast he was contracted to kill. Geralt is approached by Triss Merigold, the sorceress to King Foltest of Temeria, and she offers him the contract to cure the beast. After examining Remus's body, they conclude that the beast is in fact Princess Ada's unborn child, and due to a curse has turned into a Striga. When they continue their investigation and even talk to Foltest, Geralt finds out that the unborn child was sired by King Foltest, Ada's brother, and that her secret lover Astrid cursed the child and in the process accidentally killed Ada. In order to lift the curse, Geralt goes to Ada's crypt and successfully transforms the Striga back into the human daughter of King Foltest by keeping her away from her crypt until dawn. In 1210, 4 years after being taken, Yennefer has turned into a capable sorceress and wonders to which kingdom she will be sent. At a meeting of the mages, Stregobor convinces the council that Yennefer should be sent to Nilfgaard, while Tisea had wanted to send her to Yennefer's homeland of Aedirn. Wanting to go to Aedirn, Yennefer has her hunchback appearance transformed into a desired woman's body, but at the cost of her fertility. Armed with a new body, she boldly approaches the king of Aedirn during a festival and convinces him to take her as his sorceress. In 1249, 6 years after lifting the Striga curse, Jaskier asks Geralt to accompany him at the betrothal party of Princess Pavetta of Cintra, Ciri's mother and daughter to Queen Calanthe. After Duny asks Pavetta's hand, King Ice knocks his helmet off and everyone is surprised to see a hedgehog-like man. However, he claims that Pavetta is his due to the law of surprise, but Queen Calanthe has her men attacking him. When they disarm him and are about to kill him, Geralt steps in and together with Duny fights off Calanthe's men. When the fighting has stopped, Pavetta and Duny reveal how they have fallen in love, and Duny reminds Calanthe of saving her ex-husband's life and being rewarded with the law of surprise. However, Calanthe does not want her daughter to marry Duny and plans to stab him when Pavetta releases her magical energy and saves him. Reluctantly, Calanthe gives Pavetta her blessing to marry Duny, with Duny asking Geralt a reward for saving his life. Geralt then also claims the law of surprise, just before Pavetta throws up, revealing that she is pregnant and the unborn child Ciri now belongs to Geralt. In 1240, 30 years after being appointed the sorceress to Aedirn, Yennefer, Queen Kaelis, and her female baby are hunted down by an assassin sent by the king because Kaelis has not given him a son. Following them through several portals, the assassin manages to kill Kaelis, while Yennefer and the baby escape, only for Yennefer to discover that the baby has died during the fighting. In 1263, Ciri walks into the Brokilon forest and meets Aithne, the queen of the Dryads living in Brokilon. Meanwhile in Cintra, Cahir captures Mousak and comes to know through dark magic used by Fringilla that Ciri is in Brokilon forest. In 1256, 7 years after Pavetta's party, Geralt is fishing for a gin bottle to cure his insomnia when Jaskier joins him. Geralt finally finds the bottle, but in a tussle with Jaskier, accidentally opens it, releasing the gin. Believing Jaskier to be the gin's master and not he, Geralt wishes for some peace and Jaskier's throat suddenly starts to hurt. Geralt takes him to an elven healer who redirects them to a dark sorceress who turns out to be Yennefer. 16 years after the assassination of Queen Kaelis, Yennefer has left her king's court and is trying to regain her fertility when Geralt arrives before her and asks her to help Jaskier. When she puts Jaskier into a sleep, Geralt believes her to help them, but she forces him to sleep as well. When he wakes up in a cell and kills the man torturing him by just wishing it, Geralt realizes that he is a Jinn's master. He escapes the prison and heads to Jaskier and Yennefer, with Yennefer trying to become the Jinn's master to wish for fertility. With the Jinn in her body, Yennefer is about to die when Geralt makes his last wish and frees the Jinn from his obligation and saves her. In 1263, Cahir has a Doppler copy Mousak's appearance and sends him to retrieve Ciri after the Doppler has killed the real Mousak. In Brokilon Forest, the Doppler successfully convinces Ciri that he is Mousak and takes her and Dara with him. In 1262, 6 years after the Jinn incident, Geralt and Jaskier are asked to join a dragon hunt by Borch and his two attendants, Thea and Vea. The Witcher first declines, but after he realizes that Yennefer will also join the hunt, he agrees to go as well. Along with several other groups of hunters, including dwarves and reavers, they embark on their adventure. When the dwarves use a shortcut to reach the dragon lair, Geralt convinces Yennefer to join them. She reveals to him that she is hunting the dragon to use its heart in a healing process to regain her fertility. When the plank beneath Borch gives way, he, together with Thea and Vea, fall to their apparent death. The following day, Geralt and Yennefer reach the dragon lair, only to find the green dragon who's protecting her egg dead, and Thea and Vea still alive. The golden dragon, Villentretemert, then arrives and reveals himself to be Borch, who is the father of the dragon egg. But before he can explain further, the reavers show up and start attacking them. Joining forces with Thea and Vea, Geralt and Yennefer dismantle the reavers. Borch then thanks them and reveals that Geralt's last wish was to not lose Yennefer, which is why the two of them always bump into each other. In 1263, Ciri and Dara are leaving the Brokilon forest with the Mousak Doppler. However, by asking some questions, Ciri realizes that he is not Mousak. After a brief fight, the Doppler leaves her behind and goes to kill Cahir for not telling him who Ciri really is. In the ensuing fight, Cahir manages to wound the Doppler and has him flee, while Dara abandons Ciri because she keeps attracting terror and death. In 1263, the year that Cintra will fall to Nilfgaard, Geralt travels to Cintra and meets Mousak, who tells him that Ciri is his child by the law of surprise and that her parents died at sea years ago. Confronting Queen Calanthe for sending assassins after him, Geralt tells her that he only wants to protect Ciri from the incoming Nilfgaardians. But Calanthe doesn't want to hear it and has Iced lock him up. When the Nilfgaardians then attack the castle, Geralt manages to escape his cell and goes looking for Ciri. Meanwhile in Nazaire, another kingdom conquered by Nilfgaard, Yennefer meets a mage named Vilgefortz, who tells her to come to Aretuza. Once there, an emergency meeting of the mages is held about Nilfgaard invading Cintra. Stregobor and some of the other mages are willing to let Cintra fall, while Triss, Vilgefortz and Tissaia are against it. Fringilla, who has been Nilfgaard's court mage, then shows up and convinces the council to vote in favor of Nilfgaard. However, after the vote, Tissaia asks Yennefer to join her and some other mages to try and stop Nilfgaard's expansion. Continuing on in 1263, Geralt escapes the castle after having failed to locate Ciri. In the woods, he stumbles upon Jurga, who is burying the dead. However, when Jurga is attacked by necrophages, Geralt saves him but gets bitten. On his wagon, Jurga takes Geralt to safety, with Geralt hallucinating and having visions of his mother Visenna, who is taking a younger Geralt to Vesemir to be made a witcher. When he then wakes up, he sees his mother healing him, but instead of answering his questions, she lets him fall asleep and is gone the next morning. When they arrive at Jurga's home, Geralt goes to the nearby forest after feeling his destiny. With Sodden Hill being a key position for the Nilfgaardian invasion into the north, Yennefer, Tissaia, Vilgefortz, Triss and other mages travel there to make a stand against the incoming Nilfgaardian army. Together with the townspeople, the mages prepare for the upcoming battle. In the deep of the night, Fringilla, with the Nilfgaardian army beside her, attacks Sodden Hill with a fireball. Yennefer manages to repel it and the battle has started. Fringilla sacrifices her mages to power her magic attacks against Sodden Hill, while Vilgefortz battles Cahir and loses. Tissaia confronts Fringilla and asks her to stop, but Fringilla reveals that she wants this and that she was the one responsible for the sinking of the Skellige ships, which were en route to support Cintra. Realizing they are losing the battle, Tissaia tells Yennefer to unleash her inner chaos, and Yennefer fires a huge fire wave at the Nilfgaardians, winning the battle at Sodden Hill. Meanwhile, a helpful woman named Zola has taken Ciri to her home. But feeling her destiny, Ciri goes into the nearby forest and is finally united with Geralt of Rivia, her protector, mentor, and savior.
Yeah.